Hello everyone. So today we are going to do some major refactoring to support showing the building details that we select here in our details panel. So here you can see when I click on a building, you can see the building, and if I select a building from a different faction, you can see the color is changed in the building icon and in the health bar as well. And if I select a character, that appears here. But if I select multiple characters, it appears like this. And if I select multiple buildings, that also appears like this. But maybe we should not allow selecting multiple buildings. But if I try to select try to draw a selection like this, it only shows the selected characters. It prioritizes showing that. Only if there are no characters, I see the buildings. Okay, so this is what we are going to work on today. And before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of different projects that I have done in my channel from the Patreon page. Once you become a member, you can access everything without any limits. And also here is the full playlist of this project. You can follow these steps. I have shared everything, so you can follow them and implement everything you see here by yourself. So I'll leave the link to the full playlist as well in the description below. Okay, so right now what I have here is this. If I select fonts or these characters, they show up here. And if I click on the characters, on one of the characters, they also show up here. But for buildings, we don't really see anything. So that's what I want to fix. Okay, so to deal with this situation, there are multiple refactorings that we need to do within our project. First thing is, let me open my HUD. Say plugins, down content. If I open up one of these widgets, so this is the, oh no, this is resource counter, it doesn't matter. So this one, selected actor. If I go to the graph, here we have this the data table variable, but actually it contains this dt pawn data, which contains this stuff. If I go to the data table, it only contains data about swordman and villager, which is, those are basically all pawns. So the first thing is, I want to make this, instead of calling pawn data, I want to make it actor data. So this table will contain everything, not just pawns, but also building data as well. But structurally, we need to change few things here. So the data table type is based on this pawn data, which I have defined in C++. Here, let me expand my project. Here you can see pawn data header file. So it contains this pawn type, display name, texture, icon material, and yeah, basically those. So let me pause my project and do some few renames. So in this one, instead of pawn data, let me press Ctrl and R twice. I'll start calling it data. And this, instead of calling pawn type, let's call it actor type. So, and it's pawn type. This one, name this one too. E actor type. And here, the initial list is pawn types. Let's add build types too. And also, Very smart. So this is exactly what I wanted to add. Because right now I only have as the building types house. So this should be enough. Okay. And I also need to rename this file name as well. So when I do that, I think I need to check this generated. The error and on data here. But we are not really doing anything in the C++ file. Anyway, I will rename that too. Okay. Alright, now let's try running the project and see if we get any errors. Compilation successful. Nice. But I'm pretty sure we will run into some compile errors in the blueprint side. See? Yeah, we got errors. Let's see what are those errors. Okay. Here, phone data no longer exists. Yeah, and also let's check this data table. Yeah, I can open it, but do you want the following data tables are missing their row structure and will not be editable. So yeah, it's gone. But let's create a new data table. Data table, and as the row structure, select active data, the one that we just newly defined. dt active data. Okay, and we only had two pawn types here, which is one more thing. Here we can only assign materials, but I want to assign material instances as well. And to support that, let me close this, because this will be important later on. So here, so to be able to assign both material and material instances, here I'll change this to uMaterial interface. I think that's the data type we need to use. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we still got the errors. And fine. Let me redo the data table. dt right. Now I can assign materials, and also I should be able to assign material instances as well. Okay. So yeah. So my actually we only use icons now. So okay. Now add another one, villager. And we are no longer using this, but still I'll assign it. And house. Now here I can select house. So for the house, I don't have a material yet. So for now, let me just assign this. but we will change it. Now here, let's see what are the errors we got. Okay, so first thing is actor data table. I need to change this to DT data file, and this is now unknown structure. So break actor data. Icon material. We also got same kind of issues. This should be changed to the data table. The data. Okay. Any others? No. So yeah, this side is fixed, but still it wouldn't simply show up. Let's see. These are working, but the buildings are not. So the reason is, but there are a few things. We do our actor selection in our select actors in red. So if I go here, we are only selecting this 𝐂𝐴CLM base pawn type. Now we need to change this to select built-ins as well. That's one thing. And the other thing is we use, in order to pull data from to show their details, we use this get pawn type from base pawn interface. So this should be renamed also. We should call this something like get actor type, and instead of calling it base pawn interface, we should call it base actor interface. So let's do that too. Let's do the interface change. Base pawn interface. This is already actor type because I changed it. Yeah, type. Right, and to do this, we will be changed instead of pawn. Okay. And here's the C++ file. So let's, here we don't really have any code. But the other thing is I need to change the file name. Oh, here. Every we have I use pawn, I should use actor now. Now I have already implemented this. In my base pawn. So here, instead of I base pawn interface, it should be base. Should be get actor type. This This is called font type. Should be oh right. Now for the buildings also I need to implement this I base actor interface. This and go to CLM base building, modify base this, and then we need to add these two functions to get type and get build options. So right now we don't really need this get build options, but I'll still do this. So this something similar to this would be used when we have options like when we select a town center, we have the option to create villages. So for something like that, we will be using this kind of option. So therefore I'll implement that too. Okay. It. And the later file, same as in our base pawn. Here we have build options and actor type. So I'll copy those two options into my base built-in as well. This actor type and build option in here. Here okay. Compile. Well, sure we can. Yeah, we do this. Oh, I think here we had get pawn type. So get actor type. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Deal. Oh no, it should be get build option. No errors, but still I don't think we would see details about the buildings because now we need to fix this. In the HUD, we should enable selecting buildings as well. And then I should make these selected actors instead of ACLM based font type that a actor here also. Yeah. So when I do that, if I do that, I don't really need this. This is the header file. Let's go to the C++ file. We start getting errors. That's fine. Now we need to include base built-in as well. Built-in, because we are going to select that too. Okay, now here let's create. First, let's create a T array of base pawn type, and then try to select that. If there are no, if no one is selected from the pawn type, then we try to select built-in. Okay, so CLM selected pawn, pass it here. Let's select, and then if third pawn have elements, so we can check it's empty. No, no, it's larger than 0. So if there are elements in the selected pawns, then I'll do this. I'll set this to false, and then copy selected pawns to back. We can somewhat use this, but not all. Does use this add unique. Okay. Then next, if there are pawns selected, select building. So wow, suggestion select now. In the same thing. So basically what we did is, now we try to select all the actors from a CLM base building type and put it in these selected buildings, and if there are elements, we copy that into the selected actors array, and then that's all. This is already returning an actor array which will return selected actors. Alright, now I think that's all I need to change, but let me check this. I think there are some stuff that I need to change here as well. The Yeah, it should be now, instead of being ACLM based pawn, here is gone. Save everything, go back here, try to compile. Okay, everything is successful. Right, now let's see. This time it should work. Yeah, it is working. See? But the only problem is we see this villager icon, not the building icon. And actually we can select multiple buildings as well, which I did not exactly intended, but it happens. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So let's fix now the icon issue. And for that, if I go to our data table, tt data, here, now instead of this, let me open this. Let's convert these to parameters so that I can create a material instance using the same material and then just replace the textures. Parameter, this parameter, action mask. Alright, from this, let's create material instance, call it I. I think it would be better if I create a new folder called and we already have the assets. We already have this house icon. Let me move it here. Now here we can check the house icon. And then this faction mask. Actually, I created a new texture for that, which is basically this. So I have already explained how to create this mask and why do I use this type of system. So I'm not going to explain that again. So here, see, now instead of this stripes, we get the faction color. If I change this, you see it becomes red, white, whatever we put in there. Alright, now we can assign this to our data table. We'll see it as a collection. Alright, maybe I forgot to change the actor type for the building. Oh, yeah, yeah. We should have used selected actor, like fine. Actually, the reason it doesn't look like it's loading properly might have to do with using a material instance, but I'm not too sure. But to test that, because I'm using here a soft object reference, so it may not load in properly. Yeah, we do load it though. Okay. But just to say, let me just duplicate this. This should be the base. And this should be the mask. Now let me try this and see. Yeah, see, now it is loading. Okay, so that's a problem we need to fix, but I'll leave that for another day. And here you are, now you see the correct name is appearing and the correct icon is appearing. There are no build options for the house, but for the villager we have the correct name, correct icon. We do have build options and we can build houses. Alright, so that's all I wanted to do, even though I just needed to show this house details here. You can see I had to refactor and fix the hierarchy and the structure that we have in order to support both houses and character details alike in this panel. So yeah, thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. See you in another episode. Goodbye.